Again, welcome to the Pearl Polto Show. Let's hope this is always a live show, so let's make it work with the technology and what we're doing here. But as I said earlier, and we're going to take this as it comes. If any interruptions, we don't care. Years ago, one of my doctors told me about this person, and I didn't know Beryl Wolk at this time. And my doctor drove me to his office. And at that time, I was beginning to see the magic that this person did. People were waiting in his office all around the world. When Beryl sees something he practices his own speech. Crawl, walk, and run, which he did. And since then, I've been doing credit, and he's a brilliant mind. When you're dealing with a brilliant mind, you need to understand them as well. We will not accept anything less, and we will jump on things faster than you expect. I have a saying, as fast as you are, I'm faster. But one person in my life is faster, and that's Beryl. When Beryl says he's going to do something, it's done. When I say I'm going to do something, he taught me. He taught me no ifs, buts, just do it. And be professional about it. This is what he taught me. Crawl, become faster, and walk. Know all the rules. I want to introduce Beryl Wolk to the show. Beryl, are you out there?
God bless you, God bless you, God bless you. All right, this is Pearl on Beryl. This is a gem that has reached a semi-precious stone, which is what beryllium is. This is Beryl Wolk, this young lady, she's my adopted daughter. Beryl Wolk is 83 years of age. Beryl Wolk has spent an unusual time of his life devoting it to a big sign that I have in my office that says "Better World."
Wait a minute. I also say in here, in your office, there's a sign that says, "There is no coincidences. God is remaining unknown."
That's correct, baby. Coincidence is God's way of staying anonymous. That's how you're all listening to me. That's how you're taking advantage of something that the Lord's blessed me with. Here it says in the little sign I'm holding up here, "Better World."
Better world, better world.
Listen to some of the greatest stuff you ever heard, kids. Beryl is 83 years of age. I'm going to be 84 on March the 1st. Beryl was blessed with a wonderful mother and father. He's the oldest of a brother 2 years younger than I. We were born in South Philadelphia in a row house with 3 families and an outhouse. Everybody I knew had an outhouse. I thought that's how everybody lived. My daddy was a milkman, drove a milk wagon, started the year I was born a little tiny printing company. I started working at it when I was 10 years old. I got a scholarship to the University of Pennsylvania Wharton School. Half my class were World War II students. That's one of the reasons I have this sign that my adopted daughter Pearl just told you. Coincidence is God's way of staying anonymous. To learn not only from this school with the marvelous education I got at one of the best business schools in the country, but to get from a class that was 50% World War II students, the story of their lives, what they witnessed, how they witnessed it. That was my education. We graduated Wharton. I had a wonderful girlfriend. She was my lady since I was 16 years old. Janet, I said, it's time to get married. We got married. Korean War broke out. Whoop! Into the service goes Beryl. Starts off as a control tower operator. He winds up as a lieutenant commander. I ran supply for Naval Air Station Oceana in Virginia Beach, Virginia, with a 20-some-year-old kid running a $120 million budget. What an education that was. What horror I learned is I had the awesome job that, God forbid, when a plane crashed, I turned over the personal effects to the family. As a kid in his mid-20s doing things like this. This is how I learn. This is my statement again of coincidence, God's way of staying anonymous. The war over, Beryl goes back into the little family business. Dad, I got some great ideas. I don't know if they're going to work or not, but the secret in marketing is called crawl, walk, and then run.
Well, I got that one. I'm running with it tonight.
You got it, honey bun. Never make big mistakes, but don't make the biggest mistake of all as you keep testing new ways of doing marketing. Crawl, walk, run. Keep testing. The rest of the world is caught up in bureaucracies or lack of brains or lack of money or 1,000 other excuses. And what happens to them? They don't try new things. I went to Detroit for a whole year every single week in another sign in my office that says, never, never, never quit. If you got an objective that you want to do, keep testing it. Don't make big mistakes. Keep testing it. Keep testing it. Keep testing it. And don't give up. Kids, I invented the newspaper insert as my first claim to fame, which I got to apologize to the whole world for. Because when you get the Sunday newspaper, or now the weekly newspapers, all that stuff falls out of the paper. We called them advertising-free falls. Dad, we're in the printing business. We print direct mail. Let's do direct mail on Sunday. Let's do it without an envelope. Tons of envelopes never even get open, for God's sakes. Let's do it when the business card is down. It's Sunday. They got time to read. And I did my first newspaper insert for Arthur DeMoss, National Liberty Life Insurance Company. When you all come to Philadelphia, which is where I'm talking to you from, as is Pearl, when you come here, you'll go to the Liberty Bell next door. You'll see the museum that was created for national liberty that evolved from all of this. My second major client was Colonial Penn Insurance Company. And there I sit in a meeting with two brilliant people, and we created at that meeting the American Association of Retired People. Who would ever dream that that cute little idea that we had would ever evolve into more than 38 million people that belong to the AARP, American Association of Retired People. Into my life, through coincidence, God's way of staying anonymous, comes a wonderful guy and his team of two partners. His name is Ralph Roberts. Al Brodsky, Dan Aaron are his two partners. May Dan rest in peace. Mr. Wolk, you're doing the marketing for our belt company. We just bought a cable system in Tupelo, Mississippi. We have no idea what to do with our 20,000 subscribers in Tupelo, Mississippi. You're the world's greatest marketing genius, they scream at me. Pick up and do the marketing for this new company that we're forming. We're going to call it Comcast. Not bragging about anything during this presentation, kids. During my teaching you what I've done, educating you into the mistakes I made so you don't make them, and giving you a purpose in life.
Beryl, you started that? You started that with Comcast?
I did the launch of Comcast, my dear.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
We did such a good job. The phone rings one day. Beryl, this is Beryl. I am talking to you from Washington, D.C. I have started another interesting cable system called Discovery Channel. I'm coming to see you. And Ron comes to see me. We did the launch of Comcast, Discovery Channel, Lifetime Network, Home Shopping Network. QVC started my office.
I was on QVC, you know.
Yes, I do. Bill Rasmussen did ESPN in my office. He was an on-air announcer for sports, primarily for soccer. And lo and behold, comes up with the idea of doing a soccer that turned into ESPN. Everything you want to know about sports. Sports Junkies Unite is what he called it when he started it with me. And then Bob Johnson comes to see me, and I did the launch of BET. Whenever you do anything, you don't stop and say, aha, look what I got done. That's a nonsense. You won't be 83 and soon to be 84 years old like me without this working 24 hours a day.
What are you drinking? What are you drinking? You stay so you're so young. What are you drinking?
I'm going to teach you one of our great secrets, which is ultimate silver water. That's one of the things that I'm drinking. that you can't believe what it does to your body. You'll never get a cold. You'll never get a flu. You'll never get pneumonia. You clean out your throat. It's unbelievable that a team of doctors came to me with, just within the last 2 months, we're introducing this to the world.
Beryl, how many people have you helped during the years?
Oh, God. Hundreds of thousands. Listen to some of which I'm going to teach you. Good question, honey. Beryl creates is a second thing, and this is what I'm teaching you. Build this, and then build the next step to it. Then build the next step to it. Then the next. So I create for cable something that nobody ever got around to do. Let's create an association for all the companies that are emerging in cable. And I got a plaque in my office that Pearl has seen that says, Beryl Wolk, the founder of the Cable Advertising Bureau. It took me a year and a half to do that. I then created in 1977, before most of you were born, I created my first infomercial. We've done over 1,600 infomercials, Pearl, that I've helped people with, restricting them only to products and services that make for a better world. What this lady's life is all about. The queen of credit. There ain't nobody that knows more about credit. There ain't nobody that forgot more about credit. And there's nobody that works so hard to reach out and help hundreds of thousands of people in the terrible economy we've been living through, how to exist with the horror and the pressures of credit.
Well, we did email you. Josie did it for me, and she sent it off to you. And I hope you got it. But again, we're going to be in your office the 22nd, where all three of us have our energies is going to sit down and really make a better world for 2013.
Resonate the whole building.
We're going to have so much energy. It's going to be amazing.
We take and we do as the last key thing I did at major proportions in cable. Just again, not to brag about anything, but see how you put these pieces together. See how they all fit together. See how you don't stop thinking and come up with new thoughts, new approaches, and then go out, crawl, walk, run, test them. How in the world is there not a magazine for all of cable? Beryl takes his son-in-law, the lawyer. Lawyers don't make for a better world, so I argued with him and said, I know more about cable marketing than anybody in the world. Let's create a cable guide magazine. As I did the marketing for TV Guide, Pearl, when that started, I did the marketing for TV Guide. I created the Cable Guide. Long story short, 1980, 7 years later, hottest magazine in the world. I'll show you all the trophy I got on that one. Sold a piece of it for $64 million. Into the world comes the religious broadcasters, a wonderful guy, Dr. Ben Armstrong, a beautiful guy that in the apartment, in a bedroom of apartment he was living in, comes up with a concept of let's take all of the religious broadcasters and build an organization for them. He calls it the National Religious Broadcasting Association. Beryl Wolk, at the 25th anniversary of the NRB, is the keynote speaker. What would you like me to say, Dr. Ben Armstrong? Anything you want, Pearl. I stand up and I look at 1,680 religious broadcasters that Dr. Ben took me by the hand like this and handshake me. And it was so marvelous to see all these different religions, people that are supposed to be in controversy, and they're all working together so beautifully. My opening line, forgive me, ladies and gentlemen, but you are the dumbest marketers I ever met in my life. Dr. Ben's eyes popped open like that and he laughed. Some of the audience looked at me like that. Forgive me is what I said when I started. How can you be a radio station, a TV station, and have no clue who's listening to you, who's watching you? I'm going to build a system that you don't have to pay for. I'll pay for the test on it. And we're going to create a club for each of your stations. And you're going to get a database. And you're going to be able to email to your people, mail to your people, send video emails to your people. But it's not just one media that you're doing now. It's multimedia because you got a database. And they're members. And you're offering something to your advertisers that they never dreamed of before, that they can send emails when they run a TV commercial on your station to the people that are watching it. Beautiful program that we have for religious. All right, now let's get to the big stuff. Tighten your seatbelts on this one.
I love it. I love it. Tighten your seatbelts, people, because that's his saying. But go ahead, Beryl.
Beryl, you had to see a very, very nice guy come to see me. That was a general in the Air Force. He was a general for all the military services. He wound, no, you can't steal their bag. He can't be there. He wound up doing some incredible, incredible things. And this beautiful, beautiful guy, Major General Richard Breyer, became one of the founders of the Internet. And Richard says, Beryl, let me teach you what I've done since I retired from the military. Long story short, I have built, over the years, it didn't happen overnight, 840 million double opt-in, people that give me permission to send them an email addresses, Pearl, that I send out weekly emails to, 1 page long, driving traffic to a site so we can track the sales that I got them.
That's why you wanted my email, correct? The 50.
Hello.
Okay, I'm picking it up. Go ahead.
And we do this with some slight changes every single week. Let me teach you another key factor in marketing. It's called reach, where you do a whole series of media that I'm about to tell you, and you do it as frequency, week after week after week. You repeat the same thing with minor changes on there. You don't get them the first time. You don't get them in one media. But if you keep hitting them with all the different media, you'll get a response of people that, with all the incredible things Pearl's done in her lifetime, with all the incredible thousands of joint ventures that I have that I do the marketing for, none of them comes close to doing for them what I can do for them. Media number 2, public relations releases, where I want to get the name Pearl Polto with all the incredible exposure she has, with all of her enthusiasm, with all of her dedication, with all of her skills, and I tell you again, endorsed by an 83, soon-to-be 84-year-old guy.
Thank you.
She's the best in the world of credit.
Thank you, Beryl. Thank you.
And I've seen dozens. She's the best of the best in the world of credit.
I didn't make him say this, people. I did not make him say this.
She sure didn't. This doesn't come from my pocketbook. This comes from my heart, and this comes from my brain. It doesn't come from my pocketbook. That's what she is. And when you cast your bread, as I do, with all the media I'm telling you, 100,000 PR releases done every single week to 100,000 different media that pick up on Pearl's story and put it in their media. We do a third thing every week. Now listen to this one, because this is the hottest of the hot. One of the most difficult things in media today is so few of it ever gets read. You do direct mail, this percentage ever gets open, let alone read. So you got to do and keep working on new procedures for media. Cell phones, kids. We have the ability, which nobody in the world has but us, of sending out 140 million text messages to cell phones. They're reading 50 characters about Pearl Polto. 97% of them will read her message. And we do that every week as well. We then take sites all over the place. And on 4 million sites, we take and place a banner for Pearl on 4 million sites that the people are going to go see. You got that one, kids?
Yeah, I believe I'm still in shock here, but go ahead. I know June and Jane and Al they're shaking their heads right now.
We got another beauty, Pearl, that just came into my life in the last 3 weeks. Part of all direct response marketing, which is what I'm the world's expert in, is telephone, inbound and outbound phone service to sell your products, take orders for your products. Our program's called Robo. Pearl is going to be one of the first people to test Robo. And Robo has the capability of making 20,000 telephone calls in 1 minute's time. Pearl, we're going to get your message out. They have 260 million phone numbers. They are all called DNC. Do not call. They've been eliminated. These are perfectly legitimate people you can call to. And we're going to do a job for you as a new media that just came into our lives, kids. We didn't have this before.
That's not a coincidence.
That way of staying anonymous strikes again and again and again and again, and it never ever stops.
You know, Beryl, this is meant to be. I really do believe that this is all meant to be. We're come back in each other's lives, making the appointment again with Josie. This is so much meant to be. I do believe this is not a coincidence anymore.
Good girl. Now let me teach you the next step in marketing. And this is, please, so I can share what I learned. I can share the scars that I got on my back of things that didn't work so you don't do them. I can share with you, intermingling you, interfacing you as I'm going to do with Pearl, with companies, with organizations, with governments, to teach them what she's been blessed with by the Lord. The Queen of Credit is going to teach the rest of the world. Beryl creates, as the next step in everything he does, something called incentives. 30 years ago, my first incentives, Pearl, is when I did a newspaper insert. We'd put an incentive with it of a sweepstakes. We've refined that for the last 30-some years. And now everybody that Pearl offers credit to, everybody that is any of you people watching this show, listening to this, wish to do, Pearl and I will help you if you're making for a better world, if you're good people, if you're not greedy, if you have the same movement that defines Pearl and defines her adopted dad, me, making for a better world. I'll give you a prescription discount club card. When you sign up for Pearl Services, you get a gift from us. You get a membership in Pearl's Credit Club. You get it if you're a senior citizen. You get it if you're Hispanic. You get it if you're African American. You get it if you're a young kid trying to figure out how in the world you're going to pay your college bills. Whatever. And we create a club with incentives. One of them is called a prescription discount club card. A prescription discount club card that we give to the world. It is yours absolutely free. It is downloaded to you. You don't have to pay for it. It is downloaded to you. And you take it to 60,000 pharmacies in America and save up to 60% on your family's prescriptions. Pearl, I had a young man in here a couple of weeks ago. He got one of our cards as part of our marketing thrust for incentives. He traveled 2 hours to drive in and see me. He brought me a cigar. Beryl, I came here to thank you. I took your prescription discount club card, which we downloaded to him off the internet, to his local pharmacy. He saved $180 that day on his family's prescriptions that he's going to save for the rest of his life.
So they become a member, and then after they become a member, they get all this free stuff, correct?
You got it, baby. Draw them in to be part of your movement, Pearl. You're not just teaching everybody. You're welcoming them to be part of this movement where they're going to teach others what they learned from Pearl, how you made a better world for each of them by having them part of a club, by providing them with an endless series. I just gave you the tip of the iceberg. An endless series of incentives. You got a problem with credit? Well, you sure as heck not going to be able to take a vacation. Oh, yes, you are. Because I'll give you your choice of 60,000 condominiums all over the world. Stay for 7 nights and 8 days with your whole family. $200 is the total cost. Pearl's helping them with credit by letting them take a vacation,
Amazing.
taking all the pressure off of their body. with just another one of the incentives we have.
We're going to save the world then.
You got it, honey. That's our job. Our mission is to make for a better world. Our mission is to save the people that are committing suicide, doing crimes and going to jail, and living through the horrors, their marriages breaking up, the horrors of what everybody's going through. Because credit is the foundation block by which you're operating your life. Not just your business, but your life, for God's sakes. We then do another series of incentives. I could go on forever on it. It's called Ultra Perks, P-E-R-X. Pearl is going to be one of the first organizations that announces to the world Ultra Perks. A gentleman I've been working with, Frank Wolfson from California, been to see me several times over the last 3.5 years. Beryl, I love the idea of incentives. I want to focus on it. I want to build, and what we build is Ultra, standing for ultimate, Perks, benefits, incentives. And we're putting together a program that is ready to release this month. And Pearl, you're going to have come to your site, join the club, sign up for your services, code that you give them, they go to the Ultra Perks site, and there is literally thousands of incentives, free, cost them nothing.
Amazing.
To go to a supermarket and save $1,000 at a supermarket.
I'm still blown away here, but go ahead.
Well, that's what I do to the world.
I know.
But we march to the beat just like you do, to a different drummer. Everybody does this because that's the way it's done. We're contrarians, you and I.
Yes.
We do it our own way.
Mm-hmm.
Test it, crawl it, walk it, keep dreaming up new ideas, keep trying it and see where it goes.
You know, Beryl, you and I can sit in your office and talk for hours and hours and hours. I mean, with everybody sitting there waiting. And you know why? Because of the energy that we have, because of the ambition, because we want to help people. And it's never ending. It's amazing. It's amazing. I'm so blessed to know you. I'm really blessed to know you. I mean, you may think I have all these talents, but so do you.
I'm blessed to know you. Well, you hear one of the key things I'm going to be doing with you. Just pause for a little bit longer till I get to it. One of the things that happens, again through coincidence, God's way, I'm staying anonymous. Mr. Mariano Torrisi comes to see me from Italy. A high-level government official, very bright guy involved in a whole series of things. Mr. Wolk, I want to get my arms around. You don't charge any money. You do this all on a performance basis. You've been doing this for all these many years. You keep doing new things that you're testing all the time. I want to set up a call between you and Silvia Berlusconi. You had to see Beryl Wolk talking to Silvia Berlusconi, the Prime Minister of Italy, 5 years ago. He asked me the same questions that everybody else does. You don't charge? You got all this incredible media? You work strictly on a performance basis? If it doesn't work, you take all the risk? You want no exclusives? Never does Pearl give me any exclusives. No exclusives ever asked. And Pearl okays every single thing I do. She's got to be ready for some fights because I may want to do some things she don't want me to do.
That's okay. I'm easy.
You're the boss. If you don't say okay, I can't do it. Lo and behold, they send over 2 people. They spend here about 2 weeks, and they assign to me 2,200 companies from the government of Italy for me to do marketing for here. They publish a magazine. Pearl, I've shown you the magazine. You open this magazine, it says, Made in Italy. I opened it up, I almost fell out of the chair the first time I read it. Marketing is making it. Beryl Wolk, the world's greatest marketing genius. And all of the things that I've taught you and some more things I'm about to teach you is in that magazine. We now have 22 countries, kids. We're doing the marketing for 22 countries. Made in Jamaica is one of our most recent countries. We're coming very close after 2.5 years, never quit as I taught you, to do Made in China. Pearl, we're going to take what you do to the world, because what I do for them here, I bring from here to them because I've got this relationship with all these people. Marketing is making it in ways that the world never dreamed of. Now let me take you to a very important one and a very big one that applies to virtually everybody listening or watching this show. Everybody that Pearl comes in contact with. Everybody I come in contact with. I repeat, I come home typically 7 o'clock every night. I'm coming home an hour late tonight. I have dinner with my wife. It doesn't matter whether Donald Trump's sitting in my office, Mark Victor Hansen Chicken Soup. I had a sensational meeting with he and his people. I apologize to Ted Turner. I apologize to Jesse Jackson. Forgive me, ladies and gentlemen, but I have a rule, and that's how I stayed married for 61 years. I come home and have dinner with my wife. We eat a nice quiet dinner, or wherever she wants me to go, we go. I then retire to the den, and I do homework to 2 o'clock in the morning. That insanity didn't start until about 3 months ago. I used to go to bed at midnight. Now it's 2 o'clock in the morning.
I'm topping you. Mine's 3 and 4. That's every night.
Aren't we extraordinary? Lo and behold, what can I do, I agonize over, for the unemployed? How can I do something that government can't do, that billionaires can't do, that nobody seems to have a methodology of helping the unemployed? And I start working on this almost 3 years ago now. And I create something called MyBizUniversity.com. What is MyBizUniversity? Just like Pearl has this marvelous university where she teaches the people, looking at you like I'm looking at you. No fancy sets, no big speeches anyplace. She's welcome to do that. But the university is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Done in 10-minute, one of my secrets that I'm teaching y'all, 10-minute segments. Don't do 30 minutes, don't do an hour. Break them down into, here's 10 minutes of Pearl looking at you from the waist up and teaching you my movement, making for a better world. My purpose in life, learning everything I could learn and never stop learning about the world of credit. Such an essential for every one of you. That's what, and she does, and I have My Biz University, Fran Tarkington, almost as famous as Pearl. I have the Solomon Boys, multi-millionaires, and they do a job of teaching in 10-minute segments everything you need to know to start a home-based business. Every one of you watching this are invited to go for free. I scholarship everybody. The university is free. How could I make for a better world and charge you? It's free, and we teach you how. 2 o'clock every afternoon, in my utter insanity, every single day at 2 o'clock Eastern Time, I do on blogtalkradio.com/ Home-Based Business University.
People can call in there, correct?
I'm sorry, dear?
People can call in there, your radio show?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I do a 1-hour radio show. I typically have 12 guests on the show each day. I have a gentleman by the name of Len Kane. It, by the way, is on 73 radio stations now, Pearl. And Pearl, I've got in the office a gift I'm going to give you. A box that's 4 inches by 4 inches by 8 inches. It's a television studio.
Oh, my God.
Plug your mic into this box, your computer into this box, and you are broadcasting to the satellites of the world, to mobile phones, to cable, to television. Unbelievable. A gentleman by the name of Dennis Matthews spent 7 years creating this patented device that I'm going to give you as a gift, Pearl, as we use every day. I not only do it on radio is what I'm teaching you, I now do it on television at the same time.
You were saying that. You were saying you're putting your radio to the television?
Yep. We're doing radio and television simultaneously.
Amazing. Amazing.
On this show, I have some of the beautiful people, almost as beautiful as Pearl. I have a Brenda Reese. Brenda Reese and her husband do YTB. YTB is a home-based business, an MLM, for travel. Been around for some time. You travel, you save money because now you're a travel agent. You get other people to travel and they save money, you make a commission. She does a second program called In Touch. Take this little pad, put it around your tummy, take and put on it some simple gel, and in 45 minutes time, you lost 2 inches from around your waist. In 45 minutes time, how in the world do you lose 2 inches from around your tummy? That's one of the devices as an example of the home-based businesses that we put together, over 64 of them. We're going to build a home-based business of individuals that are going to become affiliates for Pearl, and they're going to market the Queen of Credit. I hope to have tens of thousands of those out there, selling the people in their church, selling their friends, selling their neighbors, selling their family. Oh my God, you got a problem on credit? Here's the lady, and you're going to build the template site that they'll all use, the same site. The orders come to you. They don't touch the money. I don't let them touch the money.
Bro, I think the time has come. I think the time has come for this. You know, the credit problems in our country is hurting. The time has come. I think I'm so blessed even now because that's my dream all along, to help this economy.
Through coincidence, God's way of staying anonymous, and the blessings He's given me and the craziness that I have. We have a guy by the name of Len Kane. This beautiful, beautiful guy from California.
He emails me every day.
He's flown it. Of course he does. He's my adopted son. Comes in to see me with something called Golden Rule Society. What is Golden Rule Society? A 501c3, a charity that he starts 41 years ago. He's a retired Navy captain. He's a fighter pilot. And a beautiful, beautiful guy. How can I help veterans? 41 years ago, he starts a not-for-profit organization called Golden Rule Society. Comes into my life, teaches me what he does. I said, you're on my show because 27% of veterans can't get a job. 27%. Mental problems, physical problems, can't get a job. Let's work at it, Len. Appear on my show. He spends 5 minutes typically on my show every day. He announced today on the show 390,000 veterans have responded to my radio and TV show for us to put them in a home-based business, for us to put them in downlines, for us to reach out. I have another wonderful guy. His name is Mel Novak. Mel was a movie actor. He's been in 25 motion pictures. Comes into my life through coincidence, God's way of staying anonymous. Beryl, he says, I was a movie actor. I did very well in 25 motion pictures. I came down with prostate cancer, and the doctor said goodbye. A miracle occurred, which I can't explain, he says to me. He went into remission. I became a minister. And Beryl, I have spent the last 25 years of my life traveling to 500 prisons a year. For 25 years he's been doing this, Beryl. And he screams out to the prisoners to lift their spirits, to give them some direction, to tell them that God hasn't cast them away. And I've changed all that. We're now teaching the prisoners, while they're still in prison, how to start a home-based business. So when they get out of prison and there's no way they can get a job, they now got a home-based business. And the 70% of prisoners that go back to jail every year because they can't get a job is history. In one of our beautiful, beautiful programs to make for a better world. Giving everybody that's starting a home-based business. Now listen to some of the additional things we do. Back to incentives again. You're starting a home-based business. It's going to cost you. I've got home-based businesses, Pearl. A new one that just came to me from Netherlands. A team flew in 3 weeks in a row. They fly in every week from the Netherlands because they only intend to spend 3 days with me. They then went home, decided they want to come back. I said, no, we'll do it on Skype. Nope, we're coming back to see you. 3 weeks in a row, 4 guys led by a guy by the name of Frank Vaughn. It's unbelievable. Beryl, we have a home-based business, a multi-level marketing company like nobody in the world. We have 160,000 suppliers, retail stores, catalog companies, internet companies, everybody selling anything under the sun. They lined up 160,000 of these all over the world, not just in the United States, not just in the Netherlands. You join this program that's called L&E, Learn and Earn. Learn and Earn. And we teach you how to go into a home-based business. Your cost is $10.
Oh, my God.
And it comes with a money-back guarantee.
Unbelievable.
If you ain't happy, we'll give you your $10 back. We use the incentives that are worth thousands of dollars, and they recruit people. And when anybody they recruit buys anything, they make a commission.
Your wife must think you're amazing.
My wife looks at me and says, Beryl, you're not just nuts anymore. You're nuts.
You're crazy.
My wife looks at me because she doesn't care about money. And she listens to me on the telephone and on my video conferences that I do every night. And says, what do you do this for? We don't need any money. We don't need any of this stuff. I said, oh, yes, we do, but it isn't money we're doing it for. It's to make for a better world.
Wow.
Girl, you're looking in a camera. That's my lady that you're looking at, everybody. That's the lady that became the queen of credit to make for a better world.
Bro,
We have a series. Go ahead.
I can't thank you. I can't thank you enough. I really can't because you're bigger than life right now. You really are.
Oh, that's so kind of you to say. All right, let me teach you a couple more things, baby. I won't go overboard. Just give me a signal when you want me to shut up.
I'll never.
Beryl keeps seeing literally every week of his life and sometimes every day. Here comes a machine that a guy spent $7 million on, every dime he and his family and friends had. Press a button, all the mold is going out of your home in 24 hours. You'll never have mold again. Beryl, here's the machine. Take this cute little machine. It's 8 inches by 6 inches by 4 inches. Brings it all the way up from Florida to demonstrate it to me. And in something that I heard about but knew nothing about whatsoever called EMF, electric magnification. From computers, from lights, from everything going around us, our body is affected. It is deteriorating the cells in our body. He invents a machine. He brings it in one of our conference rooms. We set it up. He presses a button. He said the reading in this room has got to be less than 50. Pearl, the reading in the room was 350.
Oh, my God.
Pearl, you're killing yourself and all your people that come into this room. Now watch this, Beryl. Plugs in his machine, presses the button. In 30 minutes' time, the number went down from 350 to 35.
How?
He eliminated all the EMF in a half an hour's time.
Oh, my God.
Nobody will ever suffer from EMF again. And everybody that puts this in their home is going to save up to 20% on your electrical bill for the rest of your life. And that comes to Beryl because they need marketing. Lady from Hawaii comes to me with something she called Safe Day. God forbid, as a young lady, she had a drink at a bar. She walked away from her drink. They put something in there. She got raped. And she's devoted her life, married to a very unusual guy. Buck Rogers is his name. That's his name. He and her 2 kids are the leading musicians in the whole state of Hawaii. They're sensational. And we're doing a program called Safe Day. Here's the drink detective. Lady, when you go have a drink, take one of these little things out of there, put it in your drink. In 1 minute's time, you'll find out whether you're drugged or not.
Oh, my God. That'll be perfect for this world.
Hello, baby. Beryl, here's the breathalyzer. The horror of people suffering DUI. Walking out of a bar where they don't even know they're drunk and getting into all kinds of trouble, God forbid, killing themselves or others. I want you to picture, if you will, it looks like a cigarette. It's about this big. You blow into it. When a red indicator comes on, you're DUI. You don't drive your car. And we're putting in bars, we're putting in Vegas, we're putting every place you could name to stop people from being killed, people from killing, and stop people from being arrested, as one of our Safe Day movements. We have a third one on it. It's called No Tox. If you're DUI, if the red indicator comes up, take a little No Tox. In 30 minutes' time, the alcohol is gone from your body. You can drive your car again.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Bread, Pearl, just like you do, and I don't have to teach you any of this. When you cast your bread every day, which is what you've done your whole life, when you do this without being pompous, when you do this without greed, when you do this with enthusiasm that doesn't let anybody step in your way, and you're doing it all to make a better world for credit, which is so important of what you're doing, and why you have me on the show, that I'll do anything you ask me to do. I have that great respect for what you're doing.
I am so blessed that you're on my show. I mean, that's a key. I am so blessed, and I can't even thank you for being on my show, because it just, as I said, this is not a coincidence either. And I did say to you, February 22nd, tell Jane and tell Al, the market on the calendar, Josie and I will be in your office, and the energy with it, we're going to do everything we can to talk about all this, so it's going to be pretty neat. I'm so excited. I am so excited.
I want to give you one more for the last few minutes that we have. This is an outgrowth of the world of marketing. This is something you could make a movie on because it's so outer space. I agonize as people bring me wonderful products that they spend every dime they have, and I'm willing to put up all the money to do the marketing with no exclusives. If they approve everything, I pay for everything on it. Beryl, we can't get started with you. We don't have enough inventory. Here's our business plans. I see more business plans in a week than most people see in a month or a year, for God's sakes, on wonderful projects that people bring me, just like you bring me beautiful things, that people bring me that we can do the marketing for. But I can't start until I help them raise capital for what they need. I built 28 financial people all over the universe, Pearl. Some of them do huge projects. We have a Lady Jane, an incredible individual. That is the story. It'd take me a half hour to tell you. She's a trillionaire, Pearl. She does huge projects that make for a better world. I have people that you don't have any credit. They're going to work with you on credit because I taught them all about you. You're going to work with these people. Wait till you see what they're doing. I analyze it. Tell me it's as good as you think it is. And I'm going to have you working with them. All types of financing. And I get some of these products financed because when I submit the business plan to these funding companies, I'm endorsing it, of course, and I'm putting up the money for the marketing. I'm not only telling them that I like it, I'm writing the money to do the money for the marketing. Lo and behold, there's still some we don't get financed. Beryl creates, and the single biggest financial thing I've ever done in my life, a whole new asset. People know what options are on real estate. People know what options are on stock. Beryl does something that is rather remarkable called options on media. And I pick up the phone and I call the world and say, hello, John Bakke, president of CBS. Beryl here. I'm not an advertising agency. I pay for all the media. I'm bringing you new accounts. Pearl's not been on CBS before. I want options on your media. I want the options at a 60% discount. He was very polite and he hung up the phone. I got 2.5 years later, Alan Klein, who was a vice president of ABC, Alan Klein says to me, all right, Beryl, we'll give you $20 million worth of media options at a 60% discount. Pearl, I now have $3,860,000,000 options at a 60% discount. A team comes to me from Europe and says, Beryl, what do you know about a trading platform? I said, uh-oh, I've heard lots of bad things. I've talked to some guys. They're not for real. Beryl, this is for real. We don't want any money from you. We're going to take in one of your bonds on your media options. We're going to put them in safekeeping in a bank in Europe. It's going to sit there for 1 year and 1 day. You're going to have to go through the Patriot Act, Beryl. You're going to have to prove where your money came from. You're going to have to prove that you got top secret clearance thanks to your old Navy days. You got to prove that you're going to use this money not to go into your pocket, but to fund all of these marvelous companies that make for a better world. I received today, Pearl, talk about coincidence, God's way of staying in office. Last key thing I want to tell you. I received, starting on May the 28th, the first one, which I showed you, Pearl, in which in a bank that's overseas, a bank that's in the Solomon Islands, I have an account. And in my account, from my media options, I have 2,400,000,000 BVKs, the currency of the country.
I know, he showed me.
The BVKs were, up until 2 Mondays ago, Pearl, 4 BVKs, 4 of these things equal $1. 2 weeks ago, I got the unofficial announcement. They backed their currency with gold. They got gold mines in this country of Bougainville. And the BVKs will be announced this month, 1-to-1. Today's report of my financial, that is something worthwhile taking out a big cigar which somebody gave me. I haven't lit it up yet. And today, Pearl, where you got notification, I have 5,225,000,000 BVKs in my account that I hope to have access to reach out to help the people that make for a better world, marketing-wise, and now financially as well.
How can people get a hold of you if you want them to get a hold of you?
You're all welcome to contact me. Take, first of all, my email address.
Go ahead.
Beryl is the short for beryllium. B-E-R-Y-L. Beryl. W-O-L-K. Walk. W-O-L-K. At AOL.com. Kids, any of you listening to this that has a project that makes for a better world. If it doesn't make for a better world, I'll look at it and I'll teach you stuff, but I won't help you.
Yeah, he's honest. He's honest, people. He will say it like it is, and if he doesn't like it, he will also tell you like it is. That's why I respect him so much. But, bro, I can't thank you enough for coming on the Pearl Polto Show. I really can't thank you enough from the bottom of my heart. You don't know how much this means to me. And as I said, I will see you in February at your office with Josie Brett.
You are a doll, Pearl. You are. Kids, I tell you for a third time, respect this lady. I see every kind of person under the sun. There is nobody that rivals Pearl Polto. There is nobody that has accomplished what she has accomplished in her area of expertise, that has the value, the importance to the whole wide world. How can you make for a better world without one of the key building blocks? Credit. And that's my lady.
Thanks,
and that's
Pearl.
what part of my life.
Thank you.
And I'll do anything she asks me to do. God bless you, Pearl.
Thank you.
It was an absolute
You're the
thrill to
best.
be on the
You
show.
are the best. Thank you.
God bless you, babe.